If you want to wait like 2 more.
No, I mean I could splice up things. All right, so my fucking still to put Callisto Protocol right now then, because here is how the mechanics work. If nobody's played the game, I discourage you from trying this game. Do not buy this game. Don't even download it for a try. First of all, if you get off PS4, you automatically have to get the update or it stutters immediately as soon as you start playing. Unless you bought it for the PS5, it works automatically. Now, here is how the game works. So all of it is melee, basically. So if the monster comes at you, you're supposed to dodge on the other side. And then most of the monsters will swipe again. So you dodge again. And then you start smacking them with the stick or whatever item you have. And you can shoot them sometimes, but that doesn't really work. So literally you're locked in a one-on-one combat. Here's where it gets tricky. When there's two or more aiming at you and swiping at you at the same time, you have to constantly focus on what you're doing. You're not Batman, so you can't press square or triangle to just flip and get out the fucking way. No, you have to keep do. This is the entire game. And when somebody broke it down as Punch Out with monsters, I was like, holy shit, the entire game is like this. There's only 2 bosses. The game can be completed in 8 hours. You can't backtrack. There's no upgrades. There's no unlocks. They didn't try. Do not buy Callisto Protocol. Fuck that game. That's a fuck up that I'm going to give. And welcome to War Wrestling Alliance Radio, where we have Ray Day with the AK, Perk Angle, Duck Goes Bang, Rem Rock's Kitchen, and Captain Solomon, Captain Clutch, Clutch Almighty. I like that one. How about that one? We're going to be discussing some disrespect. That's going to be one of the first things we're going to discuss. I feel like we should.
That's just my fuck 'em right there. I already know what you're about to talk about. So that's right. Go to fuck 'em right there.
All right. That's fine. You can bring it right there. The disrespect that was brought to the women's division during their 30 years of Raw, in which, I'm sorry, where were the women? Where were any of them at, really? Besides
Alundra Blaze is playing poker.
She played poker. Didn't she have the title, the replica title?
I am upset about the whole cage match because I was actually looking forward to that.
Yes. So that's going to be one of the topics. We can jump on to other topics afterwards, such as, hey, did we get some WrestleMania teasers that we don't know about, WrestleMania news? And then are they changing up Royal Rumble? Who the winners might actually be? So, as per usual, if we can, everybody, of course, what we're going to do is have decorum. I know you're fucking strong. Let's try not to yell into the mic and stuff like that, but we're going to mute everybody else. I'm not going to mute you guys. Make sure you mute. And then we'll have the first person that I see is actually on the screen is to my left, which was Ray Day, because she wanted to, I do want to hear from her, of course. So Ray, fuckums, if you want to do the fuckums first, or do you want to just jump into that topic?
We can keep the same, segments that we usually start with, just the fuckums, and then we can move on. My fuckums is still with Triple H, and with Shawn Michaels, very lackluster, and nothing going on. Who else? What was it? Oh my gosh, I forgot. I read something. I felt like it was about Sammy and the Usos. It doesn't matter. Just those two. I'm just bored with. I don't see anything. All I see is Vince going to start putting his little dusty hands into there. Oh, I want to say, I was right once again. Vince has been saying, oh, can we, start changing stuff? This is, of course, they're not going to say it, but this is this is the rumor that's going around. And I would just like to say that I was right. Y'all better, if I say some shit's going to happen in WWE, y'all better start motherfucking believing me because I was right.
There we go.
That's right. That's all I want to say.
All right, cool. Rem, you said that's your fuckum for right now. I'm going to go to Duck and then Clutch or Captain Clutch or Almighty Clutch. I don't know what he's calling himself today's, but Duck, you go ahead, please. Perk Angle. Guys, can you hear me?
Duck might be doing a delivery, so you might have to come back.
All right, that's perfectly fine. Hey, Clutch, how you
Yeah, I
doing?
can hear you now.
All right, well, Ram, if you have a fuck 'em, we could throw that in there right now.
Yeah, I have a fuck them. First of all, fuck WWE for letting Terry come back and open the show. Nobody asked him to be there. We don't like him, and that's just the end of it. Like, first of all, Terry, you have no history with Monday Night Raw. We didn't care for you back then. The torch was passed. Like, you wasn't one of the representatives of Monday Night Raw when Monday Night Raw popped off 30 years ago. Then, all the other history with Terry, him and his potty foul racist mouth and his actions and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why they keep making him disappear for 2 years and bring him back like we really miss him. It's over. You know what I mean? We don't say our prayers and we don't eat vitamins no more. And fuck WWE for the non-representation of the women's division this week on Monday Night Raw. That's about it, because I know we're going to get deep on it in a few minutes.
Right, that's true. Yes. It is true. Hulk Hogan departed WWE in 1993. And then afterwards, we got the boom of Raw, what actually came down, what, attitude, everything like that. He left. And then we had that boom. And Raw became a huge, big thing. It was before Raw, everything. So him coming out, introducing it, made no sense. Should have been Triple H, probably. Any other person would have made sense for them to come out and represent Raw in that intro. And you had Hulk Hogan there. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me, guys? Like, you departed. You're a WCW guy from that time period. You're a Nitro guy. So you can't be fucking even talking to us like this. But whatever, Hulk, you take your vitamins and your flabby arms and you head the fuck out. Collect your paycheck. Clutch, can I get a word from you before we go into the topic at hand?
My fuck 'em go to them kids, except my third and fifth graders. And my fuck 'em goes to Kurt Angle for trying to do a crotch chop with DX. I'll never sit there and be able to get that out of my mind.
What was wrong with the crotch chop? I'm sorry.
Did you see him trying to do it?
He tried. Do you know the man can't even turn his neck? Come on.
No, some things are just not for some people. No, this is one of those things where somebody tries to join it because it looks cool, but they know they shouldn't be doing it in the first place. No.
I agree with you with that. Like, who the fuck does Kurt Angle think he is? First, he tried to join the Shield. Now he DX.
Telling you, he's gonna try to join the Bloodline next. I'm telling you. He's gonna try to grow some hair, get some tribal tattoos. I'm telling you.
Please, God, no. Duck, we have you back on. Fuck him to give before we go into that important conversation.
Fucking goes to the men who keep trying to get other men to stop being good dads out here. Like, shit is weird. But that's basically my fuck 'em, yo. Fuck men that don't do their job as a man, or men that don't push men to be better men for their kids, for their spouses, for whomever, for them fucking selves. Wrestling related, we're going to go into the topic of the women's division, but basically just fuck that. Just fuck that. Because it's wild. Fuck fans who say they're fans and don't truly give a shit about the women's division or the whole totality of the company.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This was pointed out by both Patrick and Ray. Thank you, Patrick. He's not online right now. But Ray, if you want to give us the skinny about what we're gonna go into, I'd appreciate it a lot. And honestly, I had to look at comments and really look at some of you guys and think, wow, if you're gonna be a fan of wrestling, don't be a misogynistic douchebag about it. And I'm just gonna leave right there. Ray, drag us right into the conversation so we could get ahead of this.
So basically, it was Raw's 30th anniversary, and there were literally like maybe 1 to 2 women. There was barely any women on there. And on top of that, the cage match that was supposed to happen did not occur because the Usos segment went over their time limit, which, I understand that happens. But here's my overall problem with this is that you cannot say that WWE is doing a fantastic job with their women's division if this shit continues to fucking happen. You have started, the brand started off objectifying women, right? They're only used as really like hot pieces of ass to get the horny guys going and keep y'all somewhat interested long enough to be like, oh, wait, there's Triple H. They have been used as pawns in WWE for years. And then they started to get better and actually understanding that women are actually people who could actually fucking wrestle, and that some fans actually wanted to see that. So we end up having the women's revolution, where women start to go on stage, put on fantastic long matches, and they really have a backing. About what, I'll say 3 to 4 years that have gone down drastically. We are back to barely any women matches. We are back to just, having women as managers. We were basically back as having them pieces of hot ass for men to jerk off to, and using their matches as bathroom breaks. And I am honestly sick of it. If you are going to say that WWE is doing a fantastic job with the roster in general, you're a fucking liar. There is way too many great women wrestlers. They're not even getting the limelight. If you were to go into Twitter right now, someone said that we are getting more matches in NXT in one night than we have had since last Friday night in a total of 5 fucking hours. So you're telling me in 5 hours you cannot give us amazing matches with women at all? We have to go to NXT, which we all know is the developmental brand, to actually get to see like some type of, women wrestling going on. There has not been a good storyline with women at all. The only storyline that you may quote unquote will say that's going on is with fucking Dom and Rhea Ripley, which is really just, a take on what happened in China back like 20 years ago. It's disgusting. And it's really sad to hear wrestling fans be like, oh, I support them. No, the fuck y'all don't. Because I never really hear you guys talk about how fantastic wrestlers they are or the great matches that they put on. You know what I hear from most of y'all? Oh, that's a hot piece of ass. I would love her. Oh, I would love to fuck her. Oh, she's my wife. They're people. You do not treat them as people. And you know what? The problem is that these fans do not put enough backing behind the women's division. And WWE knows that you guys do not put enough backing behind them. So they're going to keep treating them as objects. This is why women are leaving. This is why, even if y'all know, I'm not even the biggest fan of Sasha Banks. This is why Sasha Banks has left WWE. Will she go back to WWE? Probably the fuck not. And this is one of the main fucking reasons why. Y'all fans really do not give a flying fuck about women's wrestling. What y'all like to see, and I know we jokingly say big, buffy, beefy men bumping meat. Y'all like to see hot women wrestling and touching each other in little outfits. You guys disgust me how you guys talk about women wrestling. The reason why I go so hard and want so much more from women's wrestling is because I know that a great show can be put on. I know that more women can get put over. I know that storylines can be given. I know they could literally have their own fucking show. They can bring in millions of fucking fans. But because most of the fans are only really looking at Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn shit and not giving a fuck about anything else, the women are thrown to the side once again. And you can talk shit about whatever you want about, AEW, but at least in AEW across the board, everyone's getting fucking 3-minute matches. Okay, we're not getting a fucking 20-minute segment and then hearing about matches getting dropped from the women's side. But you know who's doing that? WWE. WWE continues to show us that they do not give a flying fuck. And then Nikki Bella had to come out and say, yeah, that's kind of messed up that, WWE did not do anything really, did not bring out any women. You just had Mickie James come back for a Rumble. So you're telling me you couldn't get her out there too? And she just won a championship. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But WWE is doing a fantastic fucking job. Bull fucking shit. They're doing a great job with the men's division. I'll give them a C for the men's division. For the women's division, I give them a fucking F. And I will continue giving them a fucking F until they actually show improvement. Rob, you are mute. You are mute.
Yes, I was. Thank you. Anybody else wants to chime in on that? Duck, my co-host with the most, would you like to chime in and say your piece with that?
I mean, she's not wrong. I think I will say, like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with liking different storylines and all that other shit, but like, she's not wrong. Like, I've said it before. If the fans just gave 10% of what we give the men's division to the women would be good. They would prosper. If we just gave 10% of what we give them. I've said it on here. I love the Roman Sammy thing. You know what I'm saying? But I've also can recognize the simple fact that ain't shit really going on with the women outside of nothing. Like, all right, we had the Bailey get her ass beat 3 times thing, and it hasn't really went anywhere. She just got her ass beat 3 times. Now, because of whatever reasons, which I believe is the Usos match going over, a steel cage match would have been interesting to see, considering it's the second one. Just so and
Duck, you are breaking up.
Yeah, breaking up pretty hard.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Good.
I was just saying, like, the simple fact that like we could have had the second women's steel cage match in WWE history that could have happened. They scrapped it and she just got beat up. Meanwhile, a 6-man tag match that could have just been saved for another night went on and happened, and Seth and Imperium versus Seth and the Street Profits. You know what I'm saying? Like, the amount of women that was in the history of WWE that people actually liked that they could have brought back. And didn't bring back none of them. You could have brought in Linda Miles. Now, I know people don't know who the hell she is, but if you remember the Basham brothers, she was the tall, beautiful, dark-skinned dominatrix woman.
Oh, wow.
You could have just brought her. Like, why? I don't know. But anybody would have been great to bring back. They brought back nobody. Nobody at all. And it's kind of sad. It's almost as if you're basically saying, yo, fuck the women. Right. So, I mean, at this point, it's one of those things where she's not wrong. Like, you know, like, and like, again, don't get me wrong. We all have simps. We all simp. We all find women beautiful. But it's also like, if you can't recognize their skill and their talent, but just their beauty, it's kind of an issue. You know what I'm saying? Jade Cargill has amazingly been, but
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I didn't say anything. You reverberated to yourself, I think. I couldn't hear it.
Oh, okay. My bad.
It's okay.
But basically, like Jade Cargill, we all talk about how beautiful she is. But we also recognize that her skill and talent has tremendously doubled over a year.
Amazingly, yes. Thank
you know what I'm saying? Amazingly doubled over a year. Mm-hmm. Considering that she just started this like 2 years ago or a year ago. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, she's not wrong.
They're not wrong. The Bells aren't wrong. I don't believe they're wrong. And it's just it's disheartening to see like, again, if you go on social media and you look at what people do say, well, mainly men, of course, it's one of those, what are they crying about? They got their life set. They already got their shows and their thing. How are they legends? What is the point of them crying so much? And it's like, you're not listening to the conversation. They're saying for everybody else. They didn't say jack shit for themselves, really. They were like, why the fuck weren't we there? They didn't do that. they're trying to comment about the entire show, and then there's nobody there. I mean, we literally had who had the cage match? Wasn't it Lita and Victoria like 20 years ago almost? And that was
I
one of the
believe
first
so.
matches. One of the first
I
matches
believe
on
so.
there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I had to double check on that, and you look at stuff, and I sent you guys some of those comments, and I was like, okay, let me double check this. You're right, but then you have a cage match in which you shit on it, and then like Rim was saying, I wanted to see a fucking cage match, bro. I wanted to see a cage match between the man and Bailey. Like you want that, but you wasted all this time doing this stuff. Kurt Angle and DX and all that stuff wasted what 20 minutes, then another 20 minutes. So you decide to cut
Right.
all that just because
Like
of
again,
that.
and I understand the importance of seeing DX, but that match was so unnecessary that it did not have to happen. Like cutting a women's match for that, as good as the match was, I would rather see a steel cage match than that 6-man tag match that led to nothing.
Right.
It doesn't lead to anything.
Yeah, it was a throwaway match.
Throwaway. It wasn't even a match, so it was a throwaway segment at this point because there's no match. The
I'm even
belt
talking
never
about the
rang,
match.
Cole.
I'm talking about
Oh,
even the
that.
match with Imperium, right? That match with Imperium and Stephanum.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that.
It's just like that was a throwaway match. They on two different brands, and it really didn't count for shit, basically.
That
Unless
even
Seth gonna
right.
go and try to get the IC title. But other than that, but
So you just had Gunther on there just to have fucking Gunther on there, but he's a SmackDown dude and he's never been on Raw. Don't y'all have a bunch of fucking people on Raw? Couldn't y'all just squeeze in the women's segment right there? Or have Charlotte Flair like go face to face with some other people, or have the 4 horsewomen that were in the bill. Wait, were all of them in there? Flair.
I mean, all the horsewomen can't be there.
I mean,
No.
that would also mean that they would actually have to apologize to Sasha Banks and actually make a fucking amends. And we know that WWE would never fucking do that.
And I feel like, and I feel like the simple fact that they haven't even done that, because it's like, bro, you literally shitted on her for leaving and standing on her scruples, both her and Naomi, because Naomi gets left out a lot too.
Yeah,
But you left her out of her scruples. But then then the guy who made the call to basically do that embarrassing shit that fucking Michael Cole went through, 2 weeks later gets found out for buying, like, shutting up some coochie that he was getting on the side. And I'm not saying it to be offensive, but it's like he paid hush money to women. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody called him out for that. Nobody said nothing about that. And I feel like the first thing that should have been done after he left was Triple H, as much as he said he loves Sasha and Naomi, should have just been on there and been like, nah, we did ass apologize for that on it. That should never have happened. We want to receive our apology. I get y'all was trying to talk to him. He admitted he tried talking to him. But yo, as equally as loud, how does the saying go? The disrespect in public
needs to be just
as loud as the apology in public.
Exactly.
Don't apologize in private. Apologize
exactly.
publicly, because you said fuck me publicly.
Exactly.
And also another thing too, man, like just us as like a podcast and other media outlets. Like, it ain't gotta be just us, just media outlets as well. Like, as much time and passion as we put into everything else, we should also kind of do that with talking about women's news and matches as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we quite often talk about some women's things on this podcast, and it gets glanced over like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, this is why I wanted it to be the main topic we bring in immediately, so that way we're showing the respect and importance to not only the subject, to women's wrestling and what's going on between WWE, WCW, I'm sorry, AEW, and New Japan. For fuck's sake, New Japan is trying to highlight women more. Period. Imagine that. Like, and then we're still looking at WWE like, yeah, y'all did some stuff. You know what you should keep doing? Keep doing that shit. I like that shit. My wife enjoys that. My wife enjoys watching it. I enjoy watching it. We're like,
but I think it's because
you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. My bad. I'm sorry. I was gonna say I think it's mostly because we quite often see a little bit of progress, and I've gotten like, and I can say like I've been a part of that as well. Like you see a little bit of progress, and it's like they did it, but it's like the lazy thing to do. It's like you see the progress, and then boom. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and change back into it. It's like a motherfucker that's it's like being in a relationship with somebody. You know what I'm saying? They want you to work on something, and you work on it, and you work on it enough to be like, all right, I worked on it. This person is happy. Now I'm gonna just go back to my bullshit because you can say that you worked on it, and it's more to it than just working on it.
Yes,
like you got to change that behavior. Like WWE, change that behavior, yo. Like again, that steel cage match was a highlight. For it to end and just motherfuckers getting jumped, what was the point? Bro, you could have jumped her backstage before she even got out there. The match didn't even start. Y'all just beat the dog shit out of her. For what? It was such a waste. You might as well just not. Like, you could have did without the segment. Either do the segment. Bro, it was no reason for the segment and the match.
I feel like a better story would have been jumping her backstage, her still coming out, and then Bailey's like, "Oh shit," like, and then Pierce is like, "No, y'all two again from the ring, from the cage, everything," and then Bailey's like, "Yo, my plan didn't work. Oh shit!" And then the first thing she do, try to run out the cage.
I'm podcasting.
What? You're a podcaster? Yes, you are.
Oh, I thought I was muted. My bad.
No, it's fine. That was good. I like that. I'm podcasting. I see your loyalty, sir. I get it. I understand you. But I mean, that would have been the better story in my opinion if you would have like did something backstage, then still had the cage match that everybody's literally like ripping at the teeth for. Like, I want to see this shit. I'm literally like the other matches. I'm like, all right, cool. Don't get me wrong. The tag team match that did happen with the Usos and all that stuff, that probably could have been left at the end. Send a crazy cool message about the bloodline and stuff like that. But that cage match, you should have had this. If this is not brought up or actually punctuated in the Royal Rumble as an actual match, everybody's banned from ringside or something else, then you're losing people's interest. Because you're just like, all right, well, it's going to be the same fucking shit over and over again. And you're not planning out anything. You're not planning with these women. You're just being random with them. Don't fucking be random with these women. These women are willing to put their lives on the line, their bodies on the line for you. Stop making the bullshit like this happen. As it is, I just want to make sure Clutch also gets an opinion in. We've been going into this, and I'm glad we are. Clutch, Captain Clutch. What are you today, Clutch? Solomon.
Fuck them kids today.
No, it's not it. The topic, sir. The topic.
Oh, you said what the nickname was. I told you. Fuck them kids today.
No, that's not a nickname. All right, go ahead, please.
All right. Forgive me. I'm a little preoccupied. Damn, I don't even know where to start. All right, so here's what I'll start with this. As for the steel cage match, I looked at it a little differently than everybody else, apparently. I don't really think it was supposed to happen in the first place.
Okay.
As this upcoming Saturday is the Royal Rumble, and quite frankly, I won't even have a steel cage match on a regular, like on a Monday Night Raw. I'll probably save that for something else. So I don't even think that was supposed to really happen. That's just me, because it wouldn't make sense to sit there and do all of that for nothing.
Right.
As for the women's division in general as a whole, I'm starting to think now where wrestling is in general, wrestling itself isn't going to hold an interest anymore. And what I mean by that is, you look at women's division in wrestling, hell, look at the WNBA. You could sit there and see that people could do things. They could compete. They have talent. They could sit there and put on a show. But at the same time, if there's no interest, nobody's going to pay it any mind. And especially with wrestling fans being fickle as all hell, if it isn't a specific person that holds your interest, Bianca, Charlotte, Bailey, Becky, no matter who it is that you may like, nobody's going to really watch it. And I think that's what it comes down to. And I also feel like the lack of storytelling or the lack of storylines is what's also hindering them too. Because now, since everything is so accessible, you don't care because you know what the hell is going to happen already. If you knew Alexa came back, no, not Alexa, moment Bray came back, what was the first speculation that happened with Alexa? And she still had that dog. There's going to be some tie into it. And as you see, now there's a tie into it. So at this point, you really don't care what happens because once you see something, you put one and one together and you just go based off what speculation or you go based off the dirt sheets. So I don't know. The women's division in general, it does need a lot of work and care for it. But again, if nobody's going to care for it, they're going to be in the same boat. That's just not from a creative standpoint. That's from a fan standpoint and just in its whole entirety. Because I said this before where in terms of a superstar being popular, getting over, everybody's culpable. The fans, the superstar itself, and creative. If creative don't put them in a position to be successful, they're going to fail. If fans don't support it, they're going to fail. If the wrestler itself can't do something in a given moment of time to sit there and put themselves over, they're going to fail. So we can look at how talented Bianca is, how talented Alexa is, Charlotte is. If there's nothing there for people to care about other than their in-ring ability, they're going to be stuck in the same position.
And what is it that you feel like that maybe they should do to make us care more? Because I mean, AEW seems to be lending themselves to. Good, yeah.
AEW. The only reason why AEW will be a bit different is because they'll let them do some dumb shit and hurt themselves just for someone to sit there and be engaged for.
Okay. I was about to comment.
That's not this like Ruby Soho bleeding all over the place like that was crazy. And we just spoke about the whole thing with Willow Nightingale and Anna Jay.
Correct.
And how unnecessary certain spots are just for them and for people to sit there and pay them any mind or give them any type of credit about their in-ring ability. So I don't think they're in any better predicament. Yeah, they may get highlighted more, but for them to do certain things just for someone to acknowledge them is crazy. And even if you say Japan, now that ain't gonna be a fair comparison because Japan's a naturally respectful country of anything that's hard work and effort. Anything. Naito and Kenny Omega used to spit on people and they used to clap. And y'all already seen what happened with Okada. I don't know if all y'all seen it, but y'all seen what happened when Okada just went buck wild and started beating that boy's ass. So that's naturally a different thing with Japan. But the women, in terms of finding creativity, that's going to be tricky for them because, again, wrestling in America, especially in America, is story-based telling. If there's no story, or if it's not a story to even care about, nobody's going to really care. If you like, I don't even know if I could tell you what they could do because that's the tricky part. And onus of Triple H, where he said this booking shit ain't easy. Because how do you get people to watch something and care about it if there isn't really anything to give? That's why I said wrestling is not going to hold fans' attention anymore. And that's why these people are so invested in the Roman and Sammy storyline because it's an actual story. It's a whole actual story being told here. Even if you want to do the whole Bray and Uncle Howdy thing, it's an actual story because none of us know who the hell he is. So, I don't know.
Solomon, I kind of disagree with you a little bit. To be quite honest, the reason, like, yes, stories are very important. And, you know, I completely agree with you. But every time they had a chance of making a woman big and starting a storyline with her, they drop it. The main one that I brought up is Dana Brooks. When she was with Charlotte. and she turned on Charlotte and whooped her ass, and that should happen. They dropped it and they put her as a backseater once again. They have opportunities to give them actual stories because people are actually invested. You're like, yeah, finally, that's what you get, Charlotte. Ooh, Dana, you're so strong. And nothing came of it. The problem is like you can Triple H can say, booking's not the easiest thing. And I completely agree. But it feels like they're not even trying with the women. They're not even giving us anything with the women. And the thing about what's happening in like AEW, where there like a lot of like dangerous stuff is happening, that should happen early on in WWE as well. Let's put that in a little bit of like comparison. Let's put that in perspective a little bit. Ruby wanted to do all that to show that she was a bomb ass wrestler, that she can hang with the big dogs. Was it unnecessary? A little bit, but it's just blood. I mean, we have men. Look, Triple H spat on people for how many years? After on every single show, come out all sweaty and greased up, chugged whatever type of water, and just spit that into the crowd. What I'm saying is, if you're going to have these women wrestlers out here, right, and you start giving them something, don't just pull away when we need to put this tag team match on or this man needs something. Like if you're gonna have a wrestler, give him a fucking story and give him a chance. Because what ends up happening is that you have these women having to find different things to give them the fucking spotlight that it's not wrestling. And then here comes those bitch ass fans coming from behind being like, see, you don't need to wrestle because you have all these different things. That's because my company don't want to give me anything. You know what they want to do? They want to give Love and Hip Hop WWE edition. Like, is that show great? Is their whole reality quote unquote TV show great? Yeah, sure, it humanizes like the women or whatever, but you're not putting them on you're not giving them an actual job. They're not actually wrestling at this point. Once again, you're just using them as an object to get extra money. And once they are kind of like done doing that or they want more from you, you decide to say, fuck you. Who are you to tell me to give you more? Which is why Sasha and Naomi left. Hey, you're not just going to use us and treat these, belts as like, pawns or whatever. We really want to add something to the name of being, women wrestlers and women tag teams. And then they destroyed it. They start stuff with the women's division and then they cut it off because they don't want to they don't want to put forth that effort because their main focus is what? The men's division.
I agree with you about the Dana Brooke thing. I'm surprised they didn't
Oh
let her
my
take
God.
off the roof. No. I'm not trying to make that a thing. But
I've been trying to talk this whole time. My joint just got muted, bro. Like, who?
Oh no.
My fault.
Yeah, nobody. We can't. Yeah, we can't mute each other. I made sure about that. You. Well, clutch and then duck, and then if Rim has something to transpire to this.
I've been trying to talk since Solomon was. All right, go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry, Duck.
I'm sorry, Duck. Yeah, I didn't.
I've been trying to talk for a brick. Now go ahead.
I'll be quick. I agree with Dana Brooke because I'm surprised. Normally, with her type of athletic background, they normally build those type of women up. So I was surprised when they had her with Charlotte. I thought in a way they was kind of building Charlotte up at the same time grooming Dana Brooke for. So I'm surprised she didn't go as far than I thought she would, especially where she was in NXT. She was one of the residential mean girls. I forgot who she was with though, but I'm surprised about that. But when I meant by storylines, I meant like how maybe in the early 2001s, there was I'll do one example, like with the who ran over Stone Cold Steve, was like that type of storyline, like a who did it or something like that. Where even was kayfabe, but I was saying because everything is so accessible, it's really harder to give them a storyline where it's like worth caring about. Even if they put on a bomb match, even if they do sit there, well, depending on what it is or who in it, that'll vary, of course. But depending on those variables, it would depends on how good it will hold someone's attention. Like, of course, you could put Charlotte in anything, people will still watch it. Bianca, Becky, Bailey, Sasha, any of them, you could put them in that situation and people will watch it. But I think now it's because, again, everything's so accessible and then fans are fickle. And then we all have this, that, and other. We want to see this superstar, then that superstar. It's like, it's a whole bunch of fickleness, really. I think when it comes to that aspect of it. But I think if they do find something for them, and it is something that could hold their attention, I do believe the women can flourish because the women's Evolution pay-per-view they had, it was fire. And they all showed out. So I think it's just a matter of them or even going to the town like, okay, we're thinking about this. What about that? If they aren't. But of course, Vince got to go bye-bye for that. But I think it's just a lot that they need to do. I think they need to have communication about these storylines going forward with the women specifically and how they feel about it. And then, and possibly only then, there could be progress for them because talent is not an issue for them because they all can wrestle. Talent is an issue. But yeah, that's what I meant though, Ray, in terms of the storylines.
I was gonna say that, like to the points of like going back to what the Willow and all of that good stuff was about. AEW, man, I don't think they, like Ray said, that they were doing it to get attention or anything like that. They were just doing it for to prove that they can do it. But I think more so than anything, reason why AEW women's stuff works, they treat the crowd like they're stupid. Like they stupid. Like, and what I mean by that is they give you what you think that you need to see. Like the reason why we see so many women's matches is because they're going to give it to you. Whether you choose to like it or not, it's on you. But when something works, something works. And WWE kind of needs to start doing that. Like, just give us women matches and see what comes from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we got, like, an example, Sheamus and Cesaro, nobody thought that it was going to be as big as it did until they made it as big as they did. Why can't you do the same thing for a women's match? Like, yo, why not just give Natalia versus, I don't know, Lacey Evans a go and just let them go? And nobody's going to say nothing until you put it in their faces. Like, yo, like Lacey's kind of like two up more on what's her face. Once that starts clicking, then it becomes something. And I feel like they need to start doing more of that. Like, yo, treat the fans like they dumb. Just give us matches. Something is going to stick. Use the women that you have. Something is going to stick. Like you said, Dana Brooke was going to do her thing and then just drop. The tag titles were hidden, and now they're around, but they ain't doing nothing with it. Just give us something. And I think if they start treating the fans just like they're stupid and just giving them what they think that they need, the fans will get with it, whether they want to or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna win everybody over, but you'll win enough people over to where it matters. That's all I wanted to say.
Rim, did you want to
I
add a
agree.
little more?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Like
Okay,
I was about to say,
there you go.
I agree. It's just hard with WWE because how am I supposed to care about something if I have nothing to care about? Like, I love women's wrestling. Like, they're dope because a lot of them go fly around, and especially the smaller ones, you know what I mean? Do all the acrobatic stuff and all that. But if you're not giving me what I need to see, I'm not going to be able to care for it because it's not being presented to me from the company. You know what I mean? And I think they feel they messed up with their little Ronda Rousey experiment. So I believe the women's division is going to get a reset. I'm hoping it does. But they do have massive hours of TV. I mean, you got 3 hours on Monday night. You could slide the woman at least 45 minutes of that, be like, or an hour. You know what I mean?
Go dedicate that hour, yo.
Give them that hour on Monday.
At least
Break it up.
something, because I mean,
sprinkle a half hour. Like, it's a 3-hour show. So the first hour you do your men's debacle, jumping with a half hour number of women. The next hour men's again. The next half hour of women's, and then your main event. There you go.
Maybe one of the things they could try, and they were doing this on SmackDown with 205, granting them like 2 or 3 matches within. I think it was at least 2 matches, and or promos that went along with those matches, and it kind of did highlight 205 a bit, and you got to see a lot of these guys do some good things with 205. I mean, but that was more of when you had Pac still there, but he wasn't called Pac. You also had Enzo Amore. You know, they were on SmackDown, but they would entice you to watch 205. So it's more of an enticing teasing thing. Like here, let us give us them 30, 40 minutes, even an hour. Not 30, 40 minutes on SmackDown, but Raw, you could give them like an hour at least. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that worked because Enzo was such a
Oh yeah. Well,
it worked because Enzo was able to sell a paper. He has a mouth on him. You know what I'm saying? Like he can talk very well. He can talk very good, and he was able to sell that because nobody gave a care about 205 Live until Enzo started talking that talk. Like, listen, we on Raw in the main event hour. When have any of y'all ever done that? And it ain't like they don't have the women to. It's not like they don't have an Enzo, but at least an Enzo who can sell a match. Like women, they have women that can sell matches. I'm not saying they need to sell matches like Enzo, but they have somebody that is big enough for them to at least sell a match. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to knock you out, or whatever they're going to say to sell that match. And I feel like they need more of that. Like you said, like more time.
Shayna Brooks. I mean, y'all may not like her, but she's not bad on the mic. When she was with Nia Jax, she wasn't bad. She's pretty damn good.
Now, Dana can get busy. I fucks with Dana. She gets busy. But they always make her eat the pin.
That's who it was. It was her and Emma when Emma first turned heel. It was her and Emma in NXT. That's who it was. That's who it was. That's when Emma first turned heel.
They need to bring her out.
Actually, ain't Emma back?
She on SmackDown.
Emma's on SmackDown.
She ain't doing shit. No. She's basically had the hots for Moss, Madcap Moss. Okay. And now she's in the feud with Cross's wife.
Scarlett.
Ew.
Yeah.
That was mean.
Because she slapped fire out of Scarlett.
She definitely did.
Scarlett beat the shit out of her.
Man, she was setting Scarlett's
timeline. You were setting timelines. You see?
By smacking.
Bruh.
Yo, she smacked life out of her. I'm like, ooh. And Cross said, you messed up. You shouldn't have done that. TikTok.
We're setting the timeline, yo. We're setting the timeline, baby.
You know what was funny? I totally forgot about Cross until they mentioned the Rey Mysterio thing, and I was like, oh.
But you know what, bro?
Yes.
He did reset the timeline. Y'all ain't peep Raw 30? American Badass Undertaker came out.
Saying, bro.
That's not. That wasn't him.
Timeline reset, bro.
Cross resetting timelines.
We putting Karrion Kross on this Quantum Mania level right now. Come on now.
Listen. If Batman can have Superman's powers, why can't my man out here reset the timeline?
Jesus. Not the topic at hand. We're going back.
Listen, if Batman could fall from the moon and just tie draws in his face to survive,
bro, I'm saying
can reset the timeline.
I'm saying, bro.
I'm mad everybody saw that, and I was like, wow. If anybody wants to give a last minute topic piece or like of what we were discussing, because we've been going at it, and I appreciate everybody's time with this topic. What's the one thing you want to actually say to make sure about what viewers should be with their mindset about this?
I want to say give everybody a chance, male or female, because these people work hard at their craft to entertain us. So for people to have remarks like they have their turn already or some type of misogynist bullshit, dog, you can't do what these women do. Sit the fuck back, eat your Doritos, sip your Pepsi, and enjoy the show.
Pepsi, not even a Coke. Wow.
Nah, I'm a Pepsi man.
Pepsi man. All right. Respect to Pepsi, I guess. Clutch.
Not respect to the Pepsi.
Respect. Clutch. Clutch.
I'll say this. In terms of those comics, Rob, that I saw that you posted, he was just being an asshole. He being an asshole. I don't. Again, they basically wanted representation, and you can't fault nobody for wanting representation, especially towards the latter 20 years women on Monday Night Raw. So you can't sit there and not have a Monday Night Raw. You don't think of a China. You don't think of a Jacqueline. You don't think of Trish, Lita, Molly Holly. You have to, Alicia Fox. Like, boy, you have a whole bunch of people that have graced that show, whether it was for 30 seconds or 3 minutes or a whole show. They were still there. So I understand it. A person's being an asshole. However, I will say this.
Okay.
I was really low-key hoping Jay Uso's gonna catch Rhea Ripley with that super kick.
Bro, I'm saying, bro.
If that's two brothers she messed with already now. Jimmy ain't gonna do it, but if she go in there with Roman's gonna catch her.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro, like, Rhea really is just becoming the Stephanie McMahon of this era, bro. Because ain't no way. Ain't nothing bad happen to her, bro. She didn't get kidnapped, nothing, bro. Come on. All right.
I think that's one of those that we're gonna wait for WrestleMania for somebody. If you notice, they've done this before. They usually wait for WrestleMania to have something happen to the women who want to just be like, or the Royal Rumble, who want to, be flagrant, and then like, well, what you gonna do about it? Randy Orton RKO'd the fuck out of fucking this one, and then Rhea Ripley's probably gonna catch a spear because Roman did some shit to Steph. So,
bro, but I mean, it's crazy that like for whatever reason, Randy keeps being the only man to put hands on a woman, bro.
Right, it makes no sense.
Like nobody else out here is just doing it. It's like, and just so we're clear, we're not sitting here talking about like domestic abuse here.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to see men beat up women.
No,
we're just saying it in the sense of wrestling where
characters versus characters, repercussions need to happen.
Yeah, like no matter what.
No, Stone Cold's out there giving people the business too. Don't forget, Stone Cold was doing it too.
I mean, he was the two-man.
Not as much as Orton.
Orton gets busy. He said equal, equal rights, equal fights.
I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm gonna slap her head off.
Orton don't care.
Oh Lord! All right.
This is wrestling, folks, not real life wrestling.
It's not real life. The real life of wrestlers, though, you could do a side glance and be like,
That Orton's probably one of the safe finishers he could use, so I guess it's acceptable for him to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
his finisher is pretty straightforward.
Wait,
so,
he never punk hit any.
No, he not.
He ain't do that crazy.
He threatened that. He threatened that, and I was like,
"Oh wait, I'm lying.
Linda,
he did. He
was
did.
It Linda?
I think it was Stephanie.
No,
I think it was Stephanie.
Research.
I think.
I know he kissed Stephanie. I know he kissed Stephanie, but
he might have DDT Stephanie or punk kicked her. But I think he might have DDT'd her. I could be wrong. He may have DDT'd her, but I know for Stephanie, he caught. He definitely caught. I don't think it was an RKO. It was either RKO or DDT or a punk kick, but I think he DDT'd or RKO'd. I could be wrong.
I think it's more RKO. The punk kick is just one of those, you're out of TV for like 3 to 6 months, and it's pretty brutal. So that's not, you know what? Let's get rid of that.
Yeah.
What?
Randy punk kicked the Big Show all the way to AEW.
Yo, this nigga, bro.
Shut up, bro.
He said no more BS.
Did Randy say it or the Big Show say it?
That's his shirt. No more BS. That's his merch at AEW.
No more
Paul
BS.
White. No more BS.
He punk kicked my gimmick out of my brain. Like, bro. Yeah, but anybody else wants to chime in, and then we'll move on to what we feel is maybe some WrestleMania teasers that came out of that Monday Night Raw.
All right, I just had a thought through all that. What if the reason why we have women representation at Raw 30 is because it was out of the budget and they spent the budget on the Rumble for the surprise women?
Wait. And then
That would
who
still be very disappointing.
I know it would be disappointing. I'm just saying this. This is a thought.
who would be the surprise women Rumble anything that you have to sacrifice money to?
The only people I
I
can think
don't know,
about would be
man.
Sasha and Naomi. They say, oh, you think it's gonna be my Ope? Put like 4 or 5 zeros behind that bitch. But what you're not gonna do
Facts.
is embarrass me, baby. I need all those zeros, baby.
Alright.
You know how
That
you gave what is his name? What's that? Oh
Brock,
my gosh,
Brock the Bad to
Shane
come back?
McMahon. No, you know how you gave Shane McMahon almost $1 million for one match, baby. I need about the same or a little bit more than that.
You know,
Uh-huh.
I'm starting to think Shane wrote that check himself. I don't think Vince gave him that shit. I'm
I don't
starting to
think
think,
nobody
Oh, yeah, he
exactly.
I'm starting
no,
to
he
think
definitely
Shane,
did.
I think Shane wrote that check himself on
Nobody
that.
was asking Shane to come back. Everybody like, nah, bro. Nobody.
That's probably how they hid the money, bro.
But
You
I,
think
I
they're trying
still
to be shady?
I still don't fault that man for for what he did.
Baby, neither
From at
do
least
I.
from a
All right,
financial
Pops, I'm
aspect.
out of here.
From a financial aspect, I don't fault that
Pops,
man
I
for
need about
anything he
$750.
did.
I need $750. I'm out of here.
850,000 just to go on a Rumble? Shit, sign me up.
Bro, you give me
up.
some pretzels just to show up to the Rumble if I'm an entrant. Fuck that shit.
Okay,
That's
no,
just
no, no, no.
exposure.
See, you're not thinking big enough.
It's a joke.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd take that F5 for 850.
I would rock
F5.
Right.
Superman punch. Sweet chin music for 850,000.
Nah, I'll take like, yeah, probably all that. Actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was
Shit,
about
for
to say,
850,000, I'll be like Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss are great wrestlers. I said it on TV. Shit, bring that money over here.
I can't.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
I would
I don't know.
literally, it'll be like me reading it off of like a teleprompter. Alexa Bliss is a great wrestler. Liv Morgan is a great wrestler.
Because
I
know
did not
your
mean
pride.
all of my prior comments
You
about
sound like
them.
you sound like you're on SNL when they have to read off the prompter like real
Exactly
quick.
that's exactly how I would read it.
Because
Because
Ronda
I know your
Rousey,
pride would not
Ronda
allow
Rousey
that.
is an inspiration for all children. Really? Like this was like, oh, fuck. Like what?
Exactly how I would read it. Give me my money. I need all of that coin.
The Schmeckles. Give you the Schmeckles.
At this point, they should just tag and call themselves the Wonder Twins.
No, it should be under and overcooked.
Yo, wait, what?
I like that. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna shut up.
No.
On mute.
No. All right. So I mean, it seems like we could go divulge into WrestleMania. We don't have to keep this long. We can keep it a little short. So the thing with WrestleMania, not WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. I'm sorry, because that is Saturday. It seems like there might be going in a different direction. Cody Rhodes seems to be a really big target, as in more of a everybody's gonna bet on him to win, and it just seems off. Like it doesn't. It seems like a swerve is in order for WrestleMania. Oh my god, Royal Rumble because of WrestleMania, because we have this long storyline with the Bloodline and Sami Zayn. Now, do you guys feel like Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes are off the table, and then we're gonna get maybe a dark horse in Sami Zayn, or even somebody else entirely now?
Nope.
What?
Nope. Not at all.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead, Oos.
Because I feel like, let me not say I feel like. Noticing lately, they've been really divvying up. I guess they're using the Usos as a they've been using the Usos as a, I guess, like a test to see how it would if they split the titles or how they would defend one title separately. If y'all noticed, the tag team titles were for the Raw ones only, and there's a competition for the SmackDown. So I think they're just trying to set that and see how it would do with obviously the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
So since there'll be 2 nights of WrestleMania or one?
Not confirmed. Not confirmed yet.
So if there's going
No,
to
they
be
said it was two. They said it was two.
So guess what? Roman's going to be doing double duty. Because if he has both titles, he will be the first one, obviously, to go into WrestleMania with both titles. He is probably going to have to do double duty. So I'm assuming that Cody's still more likely going to win the Royal Rumble. And he'll probably more likely go for the WWE title. And possibly, and this will be probably the best storyline that they can go around with this route, if Sammy does end up winning an Elimination Chamber match, because I believe that's next. Okay. If he does end up somehow win the Elimination Chamber, he challenges Roman for Mania at Night 2. Okay, that would be awesome. Now, do I see him winning one of those matches? No. I do see Roman losing to Cody, but I don't see him losing a SmackDown title. But somewhere in 2023, Sami Zayn has to be a world champion. He ain't got to be Roman, but somewhere in 2023, he has to be a world champion.
Let's not talk over each other. Hold on. Go ahead.
That's all I'm gonna say. It's somewhere in 2023. Sami Zayn has to be world champion.
All right. We're getting some TV feedback in the background for somebody. If you guys can mute that.
All right. So the piggyback on that, if they do go that route,
thank you.
Sammy versus Roman. No, I'm sorry. Cody versus Roman has to be Night 2, so Roman could already be tired and Cody can actually win the match if he faces Sammy on Night 1 for the SmackDown title per se, and he beats Sammy for the SmackDown title Night 1. Night 2 could be versus Cody, and he could lose the WWE title to Cody, and that title goes back to Raw.
Okay.
That's just picking it back off what the Usos said.
But I feel like one thing I feel like a lot of people are agreeing with, at least before we even go ahead. Does everybody want the title separated?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Yes. They should have never said to combine them.
This shit.
Vince fucked them up with that.
I'm just making sure. Okay, I just wanted to hear all that. Okay.
That's unanimous.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, because I mean, it feels like everybody has a good plan in their head about what they want happening with these titles, and Rim, Clutch, those are good ideas. Doug, we haven't heard from you in a couple of minutes or stuff like that. What's the plan going ahead? We have the Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber, then WrestleMania.
I think the plan needs to be like ultimately. I think the biggest reason why everybody, well, not everybody, but majority of everybody,
right,
enjoys the Sammy bloodline bullshit is because we all know at some point it's coming. We don't know when it's coming, how it's coming, why it's coming, how it's coming. It's coming. Okay. I think over this time here, they need to start setting that up. Like the Usos got both the Raw and SmackDown championship tag team, so that hinders one show. Roman has the other one, that hinders another show. So the Usos need to lose either the Raw or the SmackDown championships, which would probably be the Raw ones. To who knows? Personally, Cody would make sense to win to me, but we also don't know. But let's just say if Sammy was to win the WrestleMania one, the Royal Rumble, that would be great because then boom, Cody can go ahead and win the Elimination Chamber. And you know what I'm saying? And then challenge Roman. Or at some point, maybe at Elimination Chamber, Roman does lose it to somebody.
Maybe he loses it to Cody at WrestleMania at Elimination Chamber, or you know what I'm saying? Like either Sammy loses, either he loses it at Elimination Chamber, or Cody wins the Royal Rumble and he takes it at WrestleMania. Because at some point the belt got to come off of him. So I think the biggest players between now and WrestleMania will be Cody and Sammy.
Okay, cool. Ray. Thank you, Duck.
So I think one of two things may happen. So I think Sammy, right, is gonna team up with Kevin and then take one of the tag team from the Usos. And he's like, you know what, I gotta go back to my original brother. You know, y'all been really mean or whatever, because if you do see that he's kind of getting pushed away a little bit.
Right.
That's my speculation. That's really like, I feel like that may be like a 15 or 20% chance happening. He gets so messed, you know, they're so distraught or whatever, and you know, they're blaming Roman for it, or I don't know which Ucho is which. Not even to be mean, but a bitch got a bad memory.
Okay.
But the Usos are kind of blaming him for all of this, and they get in his head a little bit. Cody Rhodes, of course, ends up winning it. And Cody Rhodes comes and takes the belt off of him. Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens all team up. And I mean, they kind of go against each other because Sami Zayn kind of knows the ins and outs of the Usos at this point, you know? That's the only real way that you're going to really be able to break it up and make it seem believable, is if you had someone who was inside to fuck it up for them. I also see maybe one of the Usos deciding to jump into the Royal Rumble. Was it Jimmy's the one who got the attitude problem?
Jay, I believe it is the one, right?
I think
depending on how they feel, one or the other may have both. So you might be right, Ray.
whichever one is upset with Roman at that time.
Jay.
Well, yeah, it depends. Jay,
that was Jay,
who was like, but now I don't know, because Jay's the one who's like, Sammy shouldn't be here. But because Roman is pushing Sammy away, Jimmy could be like, yo, that was supposed to be blood. Like, that's an Uso in training. What are you doing? So one of them could step out. Either one, you know, and end up, Sami Zayn ends up going in there too. And they end up losing to Sammy. And then that just fucks with their mental or whatever. But if Cody does not win, maybe Kevin. I feel like it'll be Cody. Cody's my first guess. Kevin, because storyline progression would make sense. And then Sammy. I only say Kevin just because it would kind of still push like, Sammy, are you gonna help him? Or are you gonna stick to the Usos, you know, the Usos? And you know, some of them aren't feeling you that well. It will kind of like push that storyline and make it a little bit more believable. And then Sammy, he could just get frustrated and whatever and kind of want to turn his back. But I more so see him tag teaming with Kevin once again.
Okay. Long time enemy, long time friend, best friends, best bros. It makes sense. And I just feel like I have the same sentiment that everybody else is having. It's just like always this combobulation of Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn. I don't think Kevin Owens. I think after Royal Rumble, Kevin Owens is not going to be on the table anymore. I cannot think of a dark horse besides Austin Theory.
No.
And I don't want to think about that.
No.
Not DSOs.
I know. All right. I'm not trying to think about that, but it just seems like they do want to invest in this kid in a certain way. And God, would that Royal Rumble win be just the fucking the biggest
into a jail cell? How about that?
No, it's like the biggest heat. Oh, I remember his little weird debacle a couple of years ago, 2 years ago. But that'll be the biggest heat this kid would ever get, unless you have some surprise entrant that does come in. The only
the big meaty
I'm
beefy
calling
men
it.
slapping big meaty men.
Big E coming back for a Royal Rumble. I'm calling it.
Oh my gosh! If he comes, I will cry.
I would
wouldn't be
want
surprised.
that. I would want that,
And
I
he
think
wins.
it'd be it'd be emotional just for him to come back. Because he's always been stating that it might be his career.
It
If he
kind of
does come
reminds me
back,
what
go
it kind
ahead.
of reminds me of Paige. Sorry, it kind of reminds me of Paige coming back, and you kind of see her like, she's slowly her. I think it'll still be a little bit too unsafe because the neck want to make sure. But if you see Paige, I know a little off topic, like her first match was very slow pace, but you
As
can
it should
just
have been.
tell, that they put her with probably the best person to have her in the fucking ring. It was just, it warmed my heart. Sorry. But I would love for him to come back. I think it'd be a little bit too dangerous.
Right. The thing is, you would need to have at least 4 or 5 of the safest wrestlers called out already or coming into the ring for the Royal Rumble, and he would have to. His biggest, coolest spot is always the dive spear out.
Is Seth Rollins in the Royal Rumble?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Then he's not coming back. He ain't coming back.
No. I mean, you don't have to. You just have to have people around
But
him
Seth
in
is
that
in
time
it.
period.
But it's Seth.
But Seth, not Seth. We didn't. We just need.
I'm saying
safe people.
I'm saying because Seth is in there, it's an automatic no because he's unsafe.
In the Rumble match, I don't know because it's not really too much wrestling in the Rumble. I think he'll be okay.
It's more brawling
and more striking. I think he'll be okay.
I don't trust him.
I think he'll be okay in the Rumble match, opposed to if it was a elimination chamber or something like that. I think he'll be okay in the Rumble.
I mean, look at Edge. Edge came back. Edge came back from a severe neck injury, and it was like the Rumble match is your first thing back.
And it depends on where he gets placed too. Sorry,
that's what I'm saying.
As long as we get 2 beefy, meaty men slapping big meaty meats, I think everyone will be happy.
That'll be Brock and Bobby.
Ew, again. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that meat slapping, bro.
They're gonna brawl outside of the ring. They're not. I don't think they're gonna eliminate anybody. They're gonna wind up fighting each other outside the ring and eliminate each other. Get out of here! Fuck that.
Man, they're not even gonna take 2 steps inside the ring.
Listen, I mean they're included in the Rumble, from what I know. So there you go.
Okay, Dominic Mysterio's my dark horse for the Rumble.
I will never watch WWE again if his ass fucking wins. And then wait, I get it. I got it. Then Rhea helps him though. Rhea fucking helps him. Didn't I say Rhea was gonna jump into this one? If Rhea jumps into this one, baby.
Bobby will eliminate Poppy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Nope. Here's now where we're gonna reverse course. We talked about the men's Royal Rumble. What if Dominic helps Rhea win the women's Royal Rumble?
We can see that happening.
There you go.
I would be.
There you go.
But I mean,
James Ellsworth.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
Wait, he's not Poppy, but she's mommy, and he been to prison. This fucking
what?
Fucking guy.
He was in a hold.
He took a step in and took a step out. That does not count.
He dropped the seed.
he got the taint on the sidewalk and think that's prison, bro.
Listen, Dominic is a gentrified cholo at this point, bro. Ain't no way.
It really is. You not wrong.
Ain't no way, bro.
Gentrified cholo.
You're not wrong.
Ain't lying. It's the most unseasoned, unflavored Joe Cholo I ever seen in my life, yo.
He said no taco, no spice.
Bro, this
no
man,
taco. Now he can't handle tahini. He can't handle tahini. That's crazy.
That taco seasoning for that meat ain't even helping that man, bro. That nigga ain't never do ground beef and tortillas, bro. No salt, no pepper, yo, just unflavored.
He getting the. You know what?
My man said, bro, my man, he did a hard time in jail, my nigga. He wasn't even making the prison. My man was in a holding cell and it changed his life. Yo.
He put the toothpick in his mouth and everything, like Razor Ramon. I was like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you?
That's your friend. Y'all stick beside
Yeah.
him.
We don't. No, hey, Eric, hold on. Ain't none of us really sick beside that man.
Gentrified Cholo.
No, y'all stick beside him.
Bro, nah,
Y'all
that's,
stick
y'all
beside
can't
him.
even say that man ain't gentrified, bro. Like, this man, yo, he's a
I'm just waiting.
he's a Spanish dude cosplaying a cholo right now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Rio to have a really bad like beehive hairdo with a
Yes.
dramatic like red lip, and that would just at that point, no.
All right.
Nah, wow, bro.
So to close this out, let's
Hold
look
on, I got
at.
one more thought, bro. I got one more thought.
Let's go. Go ahead.
One more.
Yes.
So I was thinking about the whole tag situation, right? So imagine the Usos, they get beat for the Raw Tag Championship, right? What if Sammy and Solo was to beat whoever beat the Usos for the tag championship to bring them right back to the bloodline? So now we have the bloodline on Raw and on SmackDown and still holding all titles.
I was about to chop that man's neck off just a night ago. You think he'll be a tag team champion with this?
Yo, Sola is an executioner. Did you not see that?
Solo does what he's told.
That man's head off.
And when he was doing what he was told, man, following orders.
So were the nope.
What? I do nothing.
Come on, sis.
I do nothing.
Anyway,
Come on, sis.
I don't think that's a viable option that's gonna happen. Solo does not really have any story with Sammy, so it's that.
He did at one point. Don't forget, he did. Solo was fucking with Sammy first.
He was breaking
That was his
character.
guy.
That is true. That is definitely
No,
true.
that was his guy. Not
he
breaking
was
banging
character.
guy.
That was his
He
guy.
was
All right,
banging
whoa.
with him.
Definitely true.
Yeah, he was banging with him.
He told his brother, "Yo, you tripping? Sammy, you come here." Yeah, he definitely did.
All right.
He only following orders from the big dog right now, from the tribal chief.
Now, what if Solo Sika's in the Royal Rumble and he decides?
Hey, it's Sokoa. Come on. Hey,
Solo Sikoa.
your resolution.
But you know what?
Gotta get these names right.
It's January 24th.
Hey,
Well, it's still a resolution. Work
it's
on
still
it.
a resolution.
All right, sir. Yes, I agree.
But not only that, the boy name is Solo. He could be in it for himself.
Yeah.
Look for a breakup.
You know what? I mean, he makes a good point there because we're all looking at Sammy as the one that's going to break everything up. I'm just saying.
No.
It could be Solo.
Let's
You
go,
got
Duck.
something.
He might do it. Fuck it. It might be him. That being by the dark horse we don't see.
Hey,
What
also, I know we about to leave, but quick question. Yo, can anybody tell me where the Umaga thing came from? Because I feel like 1 week he had a personality, and then the next week he was just Umaga.
I mean, he was wait, Solo or Umaga?
No, Solo.
Solo Umaga. That's his name
I
now.
think he did that in honor for his honor, because I think that's their uncle. I think he did it just to honor him, really.
Yeah,
Bro,
Because before Solo had you right.
My man's
NXT,
been honoring him. Yeah, like my man's been honoring him for weeks now, bro. Like,
yeah, because
I think it was his birthday or something, right? It was like his Umaga's birthday.
Not his birthday. It was when he passed, I think.
Oh wow.
It's his passing. So I think he just wanted to sit there. You know, some wrestlers take upon another wrestler's whole gimmick and honor him. So
Right.
Because in NXT he had that street gimmick, like, I got next. He wouldn't talk a lot, but he had I got next. He was like in your face, and I'm just gonna beat you and then go about my business. But I think he just did that to honor him. And considering Solo doesn't have to talk much, I guess it makes sense because Umaga didn't talk at all either. And if he did, you didn't understand what the hell he was saying.
Well, what I would want them to do is to keep mentioning how Umaga's his throat punch, his throat neck thing with the thumb has never been kicked out of. Everybody has fallen to it, and then he continues that as kind of like a little storyline for his own self to add to his own character. That'd be cool.
He took
And the
parts
way he
from
raps,
manga.
he raps that thumb very tightly, so it could be believable. It's not like he's just thumbing you. He raps it so it's nice and stiff. Pause.
But I was trying to get to the women's stuff with Royal Rumble and Royal Rumble, what they're going through right now, WrestleMania. What is the prediction for that? I wanted to start with the women, end with the women. If you guys have extra time, please, if that's possible. Okay. So with the women's Royal Rumble, it doesn't seem like I don't see anybody who's gonna have a big sharp edge on it. I don't see anybody who's a dark horse unless they bring back people. So that's probably the most unpredictable. I think that's where you getting to that, King Oos.
Yeah, I think that's probably the good thing about the Women's Rumbles. There's no clear favorite. Other than I would say Rhea, because she's probably the only woman in a storyline right now other than Alexa. But I would
Don't
say
sleep on Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah, I don't.
There we go.
I don't. I mean, I'm not.
She'll get some eliminations. I don't think she'll win though, but she'll make a mark.
No, I think it'll be Rhea because I think was it last year? It was her and Naomi. That was not Naomi. Her and Bianca. That was in the
finals like the last 2 years.
I think because Bianca. I think it'll be Rhea this year. It makes sense for it to be her from a logical standpoint, but I think it'll be Rhea because I can't think of anybody else who possibly would have could because I don't see Bailey winning it and I don't see
Ronda.
God, I hope not. I hope not.
Oh no, they're gonna do it and then she's gonna go against Charlotte again.
She won that shit last year. They better not.
Oh no, please. God.
She won the Rumble last year. No, she better not. And better.
Alexa's not gonna win, and neither is her twin.
Alexa already's in a title match, so she's not gonna even be in the Rumble. So that's then and there. But yeah, I see
people talking
the Rumble match, and as well as going forward WrestleMania. That's what like a top winner you think, and a dark horse possibly. That's one of those things. Like it's with the women's matches, it's always kind of like that semi. With the men's, you can kind of see what's going on already with storylines. But since they don't want to develop the storylines for fucking women, it's more of a guesstimate what the fuck's gonna happen with the women's Royal Rumble, which kind of makes it good, like King Oos just fucking said. But what's on your mind as winner, dark horse? What the fuck?
My dark horse would be Naomi, because a lot of people keep mentioning that she's coming back. I want her to wrestle. I love her wrestling style. I feel like she's fantastic. I don't like the glow shit, but I just feel like she adds so much to the ring. And she's definitely like, if she had a male counterpart when it comes to like Royal Rumbles, it's Kofi. Her and Kofi, everyone watches them for something amazing. So that's something that they're missing.
Nice.
What the fuck would be Liv winning or really Rhea winning? I think I would say what the fuck for Rhea because she hasn't been doing anything but being a mommy to Dom, which I still think is disgusting. She hasn't really been doing anything with inside the women's division. And only thing she's been is like, I'm mommy now. I'm mommy. Call me daddy. And all her fans are like, oh my God, yes. I wish I was Dom. Like, y'all need to go touch grass. Go hug a motherfucking tree. Or better yet, hug your own goddamn. You know what? This is what y'all do. Go into the shower. No, go into the shower. Keep your clothes on, right? Turn that shit up to the hottest setting there is. Let that shit rain over you and hug yourself. Because y'all are missing some type of warmth for another fucking person, and Rhea is not that person. Y'all need Jesus, okay? Go touch some grass. Go lay in the dirt. Go photosynthesize. Because y'all are down horrendously.
Here, gentlemen, if you do that and you're crying while it showers, just be like, Is this a shower? Is this a shower?
Exactly.
Yo,
Not photosynthesized though.
yo,
Look.
she you got to bring the science into this shit right now.
Yo,
And
no.
I would say top picks to win. Unfortunately, as much as I hate Ronda, I think Ronda would win. And then maybe Bailey, and then Bailey can go against Charlotte because she's not going against Bianca. That's a
Oh
baby.
God, no.
You can't keep getting your ass whooped. I mean, that's about that's what I think.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. Duck, I know you are. We gotta close this out. When you're telling me as a producer, time. What you think?
I'll just make it quick. Rhea for the ladies, surprise return for Naomi. I'm gonna go Cody for WrestleMania. I'm gonna go Cody for the Royal Rumble. Surprise Big E return.
Cool. And then Rim, did we get your opinion yet? Patrick.
For my Rumble.
Women's, yeah, women's.
I must say, Rhea Ripley, and my dark horse, since I like her, is Raquel Gonzalez. Even though she may not win, I know she's gonna get a few just tossed over the ropes. You know what I mean?
All right, cool. I would like to dedicate more time to this topic, but I know you guys have to go, so we should have brought this up a little earlier. What I would like to see is Shayna Baszler being one of those that comes back and then becomes a dominant force because Ronda Rousey is basically out. Let's go with somebody else who actually has that and was backing her. So we have Shayna come in, and she was kicking ass before she left. She came in kicking ass. Let her get that opportunity. She can talk in the mic. It's a little sketchy here and there, but let's go with that. Dark Horse, somebody from NXT, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. You know, they have some they always bring in NXT talent into the Rumble. So maybe a Dark Horse from NXT. Nah, you know what? I'll say what?
I'm only laughing because I'm watching NXT right now, and I can promise you, it ain't nobody from down there.
Hey yo,
it ain't nobody down there. I can promise.
This guy's already throwing it out. Shit.
Damn, crushing
No,
my
I
man's
didn't say
dreams
who.
already.
Hey, look, I didn't say who. I'm just saying, y'all know I watch NXT.
Right.
The
like
only
KK Keto.
Exactly. I was gonna say Ray's favorite.
My dark horse is Nikita Lyons.
I would burn WWE. I will go to WWE my own damn self. I will make that long ass walk and mollywop every damn person there.
If you do, just bring back that T-Rex skull that's in Vince's office.
Word, yo, that's worth a lot.
Don't worry, I got you. Anything else?
Could, I appreciate it. And I know he has a hidden vault in there too, some money. We can.
Oh, you already know.
There's a vault somewhere in there.
Yeah, there's a vault in there.
There's a vault in there. Again, I would like to give the women's Royal Rumble WrestleMania predictions a lot more time. We do have time for the WrestleMania predictions, the Royal Rumble predictions. We do not have time. We do have to cut the short. We're not trying to go over 2 hours, 3 hours like we used to do. We're trying to give you great content in a small package. Not pause. I don't know, but in a good time.
Super pause.
Nobody was even.
Shut up, all you. Shut it. Anyway, this before we go off, I always want you to do a promo. I'm posting this on YouTube now. I posted the last one on YouTube. We posted this on YouTube, creating links for everybody as much as I can. So continuing promoting yourself. Everybody mute yourselves until I say them. Promote yourself, what you need to do, because this is War Wrestling Alliance Radio, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, podcasts that you don't even know about where they have podcasts at. Trust me, I will upload that shit and it will be there and you'll be like, holy shit, there's a podcast. Yes, because it's interesting topics that we actually try to talk about and actually try to deliver to you. So, Ray Day will be the first one. Everybody else, please mute your mics so we can hear Ray Day's promo for her products, her internet, her things, her interests, and what we're doing.
If you're into anime and cosplay, follow me at Ray Day Cosplay, RAYE Day Cosplay. Should be coming out with my first skit this weekend. Hopefully, if I have enough time. But yeah.
All right. We always have the great Rim Rock. I can't even do a promo. He does his own promos better than I can ever deliver them. So go ahead, Rim.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rim. I am the owner of Rimrock's Fried Chicken. We're located in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. You can find me on Instagram at Rimrock Fried Chicken. You can find me on Facebook at Rimrock's Fried Chicken. We specialize, of course, in fried chicken and all types of comfort food. We have mac and cheese, we have collard greens, we have candied yams, we have empanadas, we have anything your heart desires. Come check us out whenever you're in the Berkshire area in Massachusetts. Love you all. I'm Rim once again.
All right, and also before we leave, we also have two of our gentlemen who are working with candles, and then they do candles to entice your relationship, and because Valentine's Day is right around the corner, my two gentlemen, my two co-hosts, y'all go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was over here rolling just now because Rem, I was picturing Rem in one of those commercials while he's promoting his stuff. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you like candles, you gotta hit your boys up. You gotta hit them up. Pride and Joy Candles, we're out here. Black-owned businesses located in Queens, New York. Valentine's Day Zens. Oh, that might be a new name. Valentine's Day scents are coming out real soon. That cocoa butter and cashmere is a real seller, y'all. I gotta sit there and put some to the side for y'all because I know y'all like some cocoa butter. Who doesn't like cocoa butter? But yes, on IG, Pride and Joy Candles. We out here live in living color, and we're doing it big. Yes, sir.
And you say that you were also working with Duck. Duck, do you have anything else to add before we hit the?
I mean, like I said, my candle shit is kind of behind. I'm still working with some things, but it's coming soon. However, I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody about the WAR radio Twitch that we have. Come watch us play some games, yo. Subscribe. We do things. We're friends outside of this. We play games. Come kick it with us. You might see me stream one day. You might see Paradox stream one day. You might see Rum stream one day. You might see Ray. You might see any of us stream one day. So come join us. If you want to see somebody stream, request. It doesn't matter. We'll do whatever. We're here for you guys. So come on, tell a friend, bring a friend. Join the Twitch. It's in the link tree. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thank you. And then reminder, WWE 2K23 will be releasing in March. And it is cross-platform. That way, everybody's going to be involved in here. Anybody listening, you're welcome to join us. You're welcome to wrestle with us. You're welcome to slap around with us. Big many men meet on that. Well, we're going to do our own network, I think. We should do something like that. And then we could actually call matches and do something crazy like that. This is just ideas we're going to throw out there. If you get the game, let's do something awesome. Let's do something like this. And I am Robert Paradox of the Paradox Experience. I'll be posting these on YouTube and then tagging people and making sure that you guys all understand this. And then any matches we have on that, we're going to be on posting that up there. Yeah, what's up?
I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. We have a fantasy league
the WWA Fantasy League. We didn't start it because, I kind of messed up on some things. I was busy with life,
Mhm.
but more so now than anything else, I actually want to do it a little bit bigger and better.
Right.
Not so much evolving everybody and I mean, still singing characters in, but I want to actually do this with GM mode and just let things go. It's more to it, but in 2K23 will start, and we would love to actually have the fans come join us. It's fun, it's cool, it's hip, it's fresh.
Yeah.
It's what all the cool kids want to do.
What we can also do is, if we do this and everybody's dedicated, we'll post up. I'll try to make sure to post up what the wins and losses are within the entire thing at the beginning. We'll talk about it, and then we go from there. This has been War Wrestling Alliance Radio, signing out.